I'd like to tell you about More Than Colored Pencil, an exhibit of colored pencil drawings and mixed media. We call it More Than Colored Pencil because 13 of the 46 pieces have other techniques other than colored pencil. Several of our artists have used watercolor pencils or watercolor underneath the colored pencils. One artist used the tip of her pencils and wiped it with a wet brush and then painted that onto her actual drawing and then worked back into it with colored pencil. Another artist laid a heavy layer of Inktense pencils onto a separate piece of paper, and she wet a brush and used that as a palette and then lifted the paint off the palette onto her drawing. And on top of that, then she worked in with a lot of colored pencil. We have an artist who used a grisaille technique, which is using graphite pencil, and he layered it in a basket weave as the basis of his drawing, and then on top of that he built up with an AK acrylic ink in metallic colors and iridescent colors. He's got some gold metallic color in there. He also used colored markers and a micron fine tip pen for his really deep shadows. And this is a very unusual approach for him. Usually he does just really interesting trees, and he has one here called the Golden Grove. We have one artist who has used acrylic paint, spray painted acrylic paint under her drawing, and on top of that she's also used iridescent paints and then worked back into it with colored pencil. And hers looks like she's got mica on the surface. It's very unusual, very interesting. There are two gourds that have colored pencil on them, and one of the gourds she's used a little bit of white gouache paint in addition to the colored pencil all over the gourd. We have one artist from Minneapolis who does ducks, very beautiful ducks, and he has used acrylic paint underneath his colored pencil also. The rest of the show is all 100% colored pencil, but you won't find them looking all alike. There's a very unusual approach to many of the pieces. These are just not your ordinary colored pencils. Now, some people think that colored pencils are not light fast, that they fade really fast, but those are just the cheap pencils. For the last 15 years, the Colored Pencil Society of America has been working with the American Society for Testing and Materials to improve the light fasting of all the colored pencils, and I'd say they're now maybe 80 to 85% light fast. So that helps immensely. You don't have to worry about sun fading them. Now, when you come to this show, you will see a wide variety of images. There are some wonderful flights of fancy. There are flowers, there are birds, landscapes, cloudscapes, fruit, a few figures, and some wonderful, unusual abstracts. So I hope you'll be able to come to the show and enjoy looking at all the wonderful variations that we have in colored pencil.